My ex pretended to be in a mental health ward while actually living with his side girl. While I was crying myself to sleep, paying our rent, and praying for his recovery, he was shacked up with another woman, pretending to be in treatment while using my money for takeout and spa days. My ex-boyfriend, let's call him Evan, pretended to be admitted to a mental health ward for long-term treatment. He told me he needed help, that he was finally going to work on himself. I cried for days, worried sick, thinking the man I loved was struggling to survive. But the truth? He wasn't in a hospital. He was staying with his new girlfriend the entire time. And get this, he used my money to pay for their little healing vacation. Yeah, buckle up. Evan and I had been together for 3 years. We met at a friend's game night. He was charming, funny, and claimed he worked in mental health advocacy. I thought that was beautiful. He'd talk about empathy, therapy, and being emotionally aware. Honestly, I thought I hit the jackpot, a man who could communicate. But looking back, there were signs, little things that didn't make sense. He'd disappear for a day or two, claiming he was volunteering at a wellness retreat. He'd guilt-trip me for asking where he was, say I was being triggering or unsupportive. At first, I thought maybe he really was struggling with mental health. He'd tear up when talking about how hard it is to exist sometimes. I felt bad questioning him. I'm the kind of person who loves hard and tries to fix things. If someone I love is hurting, I'll do anything to help them. So when he told me he might check himself into a long-term mental health treatment center, I supported him. I told him to focus on recovery, that I'd handle our rent, our dog, everything. Because that's what you do when you love someone, right? Past me was so naive. One morning, he texted me, "They're admitting me today. I might not have my phone for a while." I cried reading that. I called his mom, who didn't pick up, but texted me later. "Yeah, he mentioned something. Hope he gets the help he needs." I spent the next few weeks worrying. I sent letters, I left voicemails, nothing. He said the hospital didn't allow calls, said they were strict with communication. Every couple of days I'd get a text from him like, "They're adjusting my meds, hard to think clearly," or, "They're letting me use my phone for a few minutes. I love you." He even sent blurry photos from what looked like a hospital room. White walls, wristband, the whole thing. I was heartbroken but proud of him for seeking help. I'd tell my friends, "He's finally doing the work." They'd nod, supportive but skeptical. My best friend, Maya, wasn't buying it. She said, "Girl, why haven't you spoken to him face to face? Something's off." I defended him. "He's in treatment, you don't question that." But something was off. The timestamps on his texts were weird. His tone didn't sound off from meds. It sounded rehearsed. About 3 weeks into his supposed stay, I was cleaning our apartment. I found an Uber receipt in our shared email account. It was from the night before he checked in. The destination? A suburban address I didn't recognize. I Googled it. It was a luxury condo complex. I told myself, maybe it's where the hospital's residential center is located. But something didn't add up. The receipt said drop off at Building D, Unit 312. That didn't sound like a hospital. Maya came over that night. I showed her the receipt. She didn't even blink. "That's not a ward. That's someone's apartment." I tried calling the hospital he claimed to be at. I said, "Hi, I'm looking for a patient named Evan." They said they had no record of anyone by that name. My heart dropped. Maya, being the investigative queen she is, found the address on Instagram location tags. Turns out, there were posts from a girl named Jessie. Her profile was public, yoga selfies, smoothie bowls, and captions like "healing with my person." At first, I thought, no, impossible. But then I saw it, a photo of her living room, same couch, same curtains, same damn wall art I saw in that hospital photo Evan sent me. I zoomed in and realized he'd blurred the background and slapped on a fake hospital wristband filter. I couldn't breathe. I scrolled deeper. Another photo, Jesse and a man. His face wasn't visible. He was kissing her cheek. But I knew those hands, those tattoos, that stupid braided bracelet I bought him in Cabo. Evan wasn't in a hospital. He was living with Jesse, pretending to be hospitalized to get out of our life together. I called him, shaking. He answered. I said, "Evan, what's going on?" Long silence. Then he sighed, dramatic as ever. "I can't talk right now. You're triggering my recovery." Triggering his recovery. The audacity. I snapped. "Are you in a hospital or not?" He hung up. 5 minutes later, I got a text. "You're making things worse. I told you I needed space." I threw my phone across the room. I was sobbing, shaking, furious. I'd been paying his half of rent, defending him, crying myself to sleep, while he was probably in some girl's bed eating takeout and watching Netflix. That night, Maya stayed with me. She said, "You don't get revenge by crying. You get revenge by getting smart. And that's when something inside me clicked. I went through everything. Bank statements, he'd been using our joint card for Uber Eats, Spotify Premium, and, get this, a spa. There was even a Venmo transfer to Jessie L. with the caption for groceries. Groceries. My rent money was paying for her kale. I printed everything. Receipts, screenshots, timestamps. I wasn't just angry anymore. I was surgical. Maya helped me track down Jessie's contact through a mutual friend. I didn't reach out yet. I wanted to be sure. The next morning, I got an email from Evan. Hey, I'll be in full inpatient mode for a few weeks. Don't worry if I don't respond. Oh, I wasn't worried. I was preparing. I called his mom again, pretending I didn't know anything. Hey, just checking in. How's Evan doing? Have you heard from him? She said. Yeah, he's doing better. He's been staying with a friend for some outpatient stuff. Bingo. 2 weeks later, Evan texted me out of the blue. I'm being discharged soon. Can we meet? I want to talk. I played it cool. Of course. When? He suggested Saturday night. I said yes. Meanwhile, Maya helped me craft a plan. We invited a few mutual friends over to my apartment before the meetup. I told them everything. Showed them the receipts, the fake hospital pics, the bank statements. Their jaws dropped. One of our friends, Chris, said, he's been telling everyone you broke up and that you had a breakdown. He said you're unstable. Unstable. Wow. The projection. So the plan was simple. Meet him, let him talk, and then reveal that I knew everything. Oh, and I might have invited Jesse too. Saturday night came. He showed up late, looking all disheveled but smug. The fake, I've been through so much, look. He had a small bandage on his wrist, like he was trying to play the part. He hugged me like nothing happened. I'm sorry for everything. Treatment really opened my eyes. I said, that's great, Evan. Where was this treatment again? He mumbled, a private center. Confidential. Right, I said. Building D, Unit 312, right? His face went pale. He stuttered. What are you talking about? That's when Jessie walked in. Maya had texted her our location. She looked furious, holding her phone with screenshots I'd sent her earlier that day. Evan turned whiter than a ghost. Jessie screamed, you told me she was your ex! You said she cheated on you! He tried to grab her hand. Baby, please! She slapped it away. Don't baby me, you sociopath. Everyone in the cafe turned to stare. I just sat there, calm, sipping my coffee. He looked at me like he was seeing a ghost. I said, next time you fake a hospital stay, maybe don't use my credit card for your Postmates. The look on his face? Priceless. After that night, everything crumbled for him. Jessie dumped him immediately. She actually reached out later to apologize to me. Turns out, he told her I was an obsessive ex who couldn't let go. She didn't know I was still with him when they started. His job found out too. I guess Jessie told a mutual friend who worked at his office. He'd taken medical leave under false pretenses. HR got wind of it. Let's just say he wasn't advocating for mental health anymore. He tried to reach out a few times after that. Long, rambling messages about how he wasn't himself, that he really was struggling mentally, and that I should understand and forgive. I did understand. I understood that he weaponized mental illness to hide cheating. I understood that he manipulated everyone to avoid accountability. And I understood that I was finally free. I didn't post about it. I didn't rant online. But karma has its own way of working. A few months later, I heard through the grapevine that he'd moved back in with his mom. He was broke, unemployed, and complaining that no one trusted him anymore. Oh, really? Imagine that. Meanwhile, I started therapy myself. Real therapy. I learned that what he did was called coercive control, using fake vulnerability to gain sympathy while emotionally abusing the partner. I rebuilt my savings, got a better job, and adopted another dog because my first one deserved a playmate after all that chaos. One night, Maya and I were having wine on the balcony when she said, you know, if this were a movie, that cafe scene would be the climax. I laughed. Nah, the climax is me being happy now. A few weeks later, I got a message from a random girl on Instagram. Hey, I saw your name in Evan's old photos. He's been messaging me, saying you were abusive and faked his mental health crisis to ruin him. Is that true? I literally laughed out loud. I sent her the full folder of receipts. She replied with one line, got it. Thank you, Queen. And a few hours later, Evan posted a dramatic accountability story about learning to be honest. Comments were limited. His follower count dropped by hundreds overnight. For a guy who lived for validation, that was the ultimate punishment. Looking back, I realize I wanted so badly to see him as a man in pain that I ignored my own. I let his fake vulnerability make me feel guilty for having boundaries. He turned compassion into a weapon, and that's what narcissists do best. But you know what? I'm done blaming myself. People like that don't need empathy. They need consequences. Now, if someone tells me they need space for healing, I wish them the best and let them go heal far away from me. It's been a year. He's gone, the lies are gone, and the peace is real. I got my confidence back. I got my laughter back. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who weaponized sympathy, remember this. You're not crazy. You're not cold-hearted for seeing through the act. You're just finally awake.